you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been so long, you guys. I had to step away and it is overdue for me to come back, kind of explain what's been going on and tell you kind of updates on my husband. I lost my mom and my return in the direction of my channel going forward. So I hope you guys are well. If you are new here, my name's Gina. I am a zero-based budgeter. I utilize the cash envelope system to assist me on my journey to financial and debt freedom. So I do other types of content like couponing, grocery hauls, meal planning, you name it. I'm gonna add some planner type stuff to my lineup. So if those are the types of things that interest you, then please, by all means, go ahead and subscribe now. You won't regret it. Anywho, to my returning subscribers, first of all, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all your support. I've been gone about 6 months, and I had so many times where I was like, okay, I'm gonna start back filming, and you know, like Rochelle Adamson says, life be lifing, okay, for me. So as many of you know, my husband Kevin has been battling bladder cancer for, it's probably about 1.5 years now. I last posted, I want to say in maybe October, November-ish. At the time, he was very ill. He was going through aggressive treatment. We had so much going on, you guys. I can't even begin to tell you. He was having a lot of kidney problems. He ended up with a tube placed in his kidney, and it seemed like everything spiraled out of control from there. The tube that they put in his kidney, it just stayed infected constantly. So he was basically like always in the hospital, always very sick. Even the short periods of time that he was at home, he was always battling an infection. And so it was just beginning to be too much for me to maintain everything. And it got to a point where not only was my budget a source of anxiety for me, but the fact that I would have to share it as well just made it that much more really stressful for me. And I just felt like it wasn't helpful for me. I never stopped budgeting, because I'm telling you, we would not have survived this long without the budgeting system. But I just had to step back and get rid of anything in my life that was optional, because I had so many things that I just had to deal with that weren't optional. And so we kind of battled with the infections back and forth. And then finally in January of this year, he had a really major surgery, and they got rid of the tube that was in his kidney, but it was a huge surgery. He had complications after the surgery, and he ended up in the hospital for about 10 days, I think. Lost like 20 pounds. If you guys can remember, way back when, it seems like I was like so proud that he had gotten through chemo and hadn't lost any weight and stuff like that. But this hospital stay, he lost like 20 pounds. It was just a hard time. That was in January. But thankfully, the surgery was successful. And once he kind of got his strength back, it took a while. Like literally, this is May, and he's still kind of battling the fatigue aspect from that big surgery. So luckily, it was successful. The tube got taken out of his kidney, and he's been infection free all this time. So update, where is he now and what's next? Okay, so right now we're pretty close to him being deemed, they call it no gross disease, okay? Because with bladder cancer, and the type that he had was very rare and it was very aggressive. So they don't call it remission. They just call it no gross disease. That means nothing that they can see with the eye. But that doesn't mean that there's not any microscopic disease there that could kind of rear its ugly head at any moment. So it's very high risk for coming back, but we rebuke that. We are just claiming that he is cancer-free and he will remain cancer-free for the rest of his days. And we have an appointment on Wednesday. He'll get a CAT scan, and that'll kind of be the final piece for them to be able to say no gross disease. And that's this Wednesday, so keep us in your prayers. To this day, we still are waiting for disability. I know it's unbelievable, you guys, but my husband has been without income since July of last year. Absolutely zero. So we're still waiting. In the course of everything, after my husband had the big surgery in January, which he did well, immediately after he healed from that surgery, then he started radiation. He did radiation for 30 treatments, which was like 6 weeks because he went 5 days a week. Well, 6 weeks. During the 5th week of radiation, my mom became ill. Sorry, Memphis is still here. He's antsy. So my mom became very, very ill, and I had to emergently come up to Illinois to figure out what was what. She ended up passing away the following week, and stay tuned for part 2. I'll kind of talk to you about how all that transpired and what happened and things of that nature. So I'm gonna be doing my update video in 3 parts. Today was the hey, I'm coming back, how Kevin's doing. Part 2 is gonna be what happened with my mom, so stay tuned for that. And then part 3 is where I'm gonna sit and talk to you guys in terms of like what my plan is with my channel moving forward and how our lives are different from like compared to the last time I posted. So thank you again, you guys, for being so patient, for being supportive. I've gotten so many messages of people just reaching out to us and asking how we're doing and telling me that you miss me, and I miss you guys too. I've been trying to stay active, at least on Instagram, to like let you guys know I'm still around and keep that connection. But you guys, I'm coming back and I need your support. So by all means, share this video, give me a like, leave a comment, tell me if you're glad that I'm coming back. I'm excited, you guys. But I also know that, you know, I'm still in the grieving process, you know, very much so. Kevin is still, his health is still kind of, you know, touch and go. And then, of course, our finances are just, but I bless God that he has provided thus far. So, you guys, stay tuned for part 2 and part 3. And you guys have a blessed and fantastic evening, and we'll talk soon. Bye.